Hello to everyone out there. I'm Poetic Heretic, and this is your general astrological overview for the day of February 4th, 2022. So let's look at what we have here. A couple of things today. First of all, the most noticeable thing hour to hour is that if we take this back to 10 a.m., we can see that just before 10 a.m., the moon will enter Aries, and that's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, of course. So the energy will shift relatively early in the day from that more dreamy Piscean energy to that more impulsive, go-getter, instantaneous, action-oriented Aries energy. The moon will enter action-packed Aries just before 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and that is where it shall be for the rest of the day. And so watch out for that shift. Now, we talked about this in the video for yesterday, February 3rd, but today you can see that the Sun-Saturn conjunction is indeed going to perfect. And as we move this forward just a bit, you can see right around roughly 2 p.m. Eastern Time, it does perfect. But basically, you can count on this energy being active all day. Again, Sun-Saturn is lighting up of Saturn themes: order, structure, authority, discipline, reality, obstacles. This could be a time where you have to go do something that maybe you don't want to do but needs to be done. This could be a time of increased hard work. If you're lucky, especially like if you have a day chart in particular, if you're born during the daytime, you may find that this is a day where you enjoy work more. You enjoy a sense of hard work. Now, regardless, it's interesting that even though the orb is somewhat wide, this Sun-Saturn conjunction here is activating this square with Uranus, or in other words, this ongoing Saturn-Uranus square that we've had for quite some time now. So again, if you haven't been keeping up with this, Saturn square Uranus is basically the conflict between structure, Saturn, and freedom or rebellion, Uranus, or Saturn, the authority, and Uranus, the revolutionary, these sorts of things. So the Sun conjoining Saturn today, this perfecting, could really emphasize that stressful dynamic, between, if we want to look at it more on an individual psychological level, it could be the part of us that wants freedom versus the part of us that wants to be disciplined and have structure in our lives. And of course, the idea is that we find a way to integrate them, that we find a way to essentially have both in a complementary fashion. Now, we mentioned this in the last video, but it bears repeating. Mercury has indeed, by now at this point, stationed direct. There's still an S there, a black S, indicating that it has fully, officially gone direct. The fulcrum has tipped, the scales have tipped to the side of Mercury now being direct. And so things are starting to move forward again in the area of our thoughts, communication, travel, these sorts of things. But again, it is there with that rather ominous Pluto. And so in the coming days, and including today, we could see some rather intense communication or travel or things of this nature, especially relating to some of that which we may have experienced around the beginning of the year. Now, one more thing that we have today, and that is that Mars has moved into a perfect sextile with Jupiter, and that did happen just a little bit earlier than 12 p.m. Well, it actually happened closer to 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., probably closer to 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Mars sextile Jupiter. Now, this is largely a good thing, I would say. It's Mars, our action, motivation, even anger or aggression, forming a supportive aspect to Jupiter, which is expansion, growth, optimism, knowledge, philosophy, expansion of one's worldview. This is just, the way that I see a Mars-Jupiter sextile typically is just like an extra energetic push, maybe giving us more enthusiasm or motivation for the day, maybe giving us more optimism, more energy to do things, to make forward progress and movement, and maybe just a more cheerful outlook. Now, if perhaps you have a difficult relationship with the planet Mars or even the planet Jupiter, this could manifest for you as more like overblown optimism or confidence, or being confident about things that you really should not be confident about, things of this nature. So just be aware of that. But generally, this aspect of Mars sextile Jupiter is a very nice, optimistic, energetic vibe, and something I certainly look at favorably. And there is, I know I said that would be the last thing, but there is one more thing that bears mentioning, and it's just that it doesn't really happen, or doesn't really move into effect until later in the day, but the moon is slowly throughout the day moving closer and closer into this late night conjunction with Chiron. And of course, that doesn't perfect until after midnight in the Eastern time zone. But the moon, as it moves closer to Chiron, is activating the need to heal wounds and things of that nature. And as it does so, it squares Mars. And so this can be a little bit stressful, so like if you're up late tonight, or if you're up early tomorrow morning, perhaps, this could be a little bit of a stressful need to address something, or to quote unquote heal a wound or something of this nature. Perhaps it is helpful a little bit that the moon Chiron conjunction is square Mars from Mars sign of Aries, and thus with reception, the moon and Chiron are receiving Mars, which makes it a little gentler, a little friendlier. It's almost like getting into an argument with someone, but because they are family or a close friend, rather than it being an argument, it's a much easier discussion. It's well, really more of a discussion and not so much an argument at all, hopefully. So that is about it for the energy of this day. Yet again, a lot of stuff is happening today, all in one day. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great day.